shows in the U.S. So
What's happening, y'all? Good evening. Thank y'all for hitting play on well, not play or whatever, but you give us a few minutes. We're gonna bring Crowned ReRe into the mix, but I'm just trying to doing some trying to do some troubleshooting real quick. On the radio show right now on MPN Radio, we have Mr. Goodbar, the Remedy Radio. He's doing a mix of Cleo Soul's music, so it's literally running right now. So I just want to make sure that that it's running right. But so we got MPN Radio. We got for the people that's listening to them tunes. We got Mr. Goodbar running on MPN Radio. This is Cleo Soul mix. I listened to it. I got to pre-listen to it, of course, because I put it on the station, but it sounds very great. So shouts out to Mr. Goodbar for giving those mixes. Real quick, a couple announcements. Tomorrow, as always, on Fridays, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., 5 p.m., 8 p.m., Christina Curates holds down what you call it to with her mix, the Christina Curate Show. So check that out on the MPN Radio. You can listen to the MPN Radio actually on the website, mpn-llc.com/MPN Radio, or you can download the MPN Network app and listen to it on there as well. So hopefully y'all will join tomorrow and listen. Crate Digger, matter of fact, on Saturday we are doing a rerun of Crate Digger's the neighborhood cleanup. So we're gonna run that back. The one last month we're gonna run that back. But every first Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. we always play the dopest mix from Crate Digger. So make sure you tune in, all that great stuff. More information as we go on, but we finna bring on Crowned ReRe. My people's in here. What's happening? Did not know Cleo Soul was part of Salt. I feel like I've let the hold on a sec. Didn't know that was the case or whatever. So all good. ReRe, Jesus Christ, ReRe. Let me let ReRe in, because ReRe just want to just jump on the goddamn mic, like. Let's see.
Oh, this is okay.
You ain't want to get no grand introduction or nothing, huh? Possibly, because
I'm sorry. Oh, my apologies.
you just raise your hand like I saw you. We gotta make an entrance, man.
I don't know how this goes. This is new, so thank you.
You know what? Fair enough.
Thank you.
We probably should have had a pre-conversation about it. So it's all good. Though. It's all good. Hold on a second. Since we gotta do the Oski Woski. Where we at? All right, there we go.
Okay.
I don't know this music in the background. I'm trying to get my sound effects in order. Oh. Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Who are these niggas? I cried we need to stay away from these niggas.
That's what I was thinking about when I was about to bring you on, and I saw your emoji with your hand up. I'm like,
I am the Negro.
Well, listen, my people's in the house. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. MPN Network. I did say I was going to be doing more of these, but we are here for a special occasion. The queen, the dope friend of mine, Miss Crowned ReRe, is celebrating her 5-year anniversary of her podcast.
Yeah.
The CrownTalk podcast. Yep.
Yay.
Yeah, it's stadium music, stadium music, stadium music,
Thank
stadium music.
you.
So, yeah. So we want to say happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
Listen, keeping the podcast baby up for 5 years it ain't for
Easy.
the weary.
Not at all. Not at all. And then we started around the before COVID. So yeah, not at all.
Yeah. Before COVID really kind of took over and did its thing. So
Yeah.
man, yeah. So well, how you feeling though? How you feeling?
I'm good. Thank you for motivating me to do this. I'm learning how to celebrate myself this year, so this is a big milestone for me. Of course, you knew I was like, oh, it's nothing, but you're like, no, friend, you have to celebrate. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate that for sure.
Absolutely. Shit. And even get a sneak peek into what we got going on again. I mean, next month we got another milestone with Flowers for the Culture. Flowers for the Culture will be 5. So
For sure.
round of like 5. And then MPN Network turned 5 this year too. So listen, we 5 on it, like Craig Digger said. We put 5 on it all.
I got 5.
So
Yeah.
yeah, with
Sure.
all of that we got going on, man, we definitely would like to. We need to celebrate these things and
Yes.
just revisit where we came from with it. And so that's what we're going to do for these couple of minutes, 30 minutes or whatnot. We're just going to have conversations with you and
Okay.
just get insight of what's going on. So just to kind of jump into it,
Mm-hmm.
how was CrownTalk? How did it originate?
Mm-hmm.
Was it something that you saw? Was it something that you thought of? Like, and I'll explain more once you answer that part.
Okay. Well, CrownTalk started because I wanted to find a place for my voice, and I also wanted to recognize other people's crowns. So the first season, I was able to discuss or interview with people. We discovered what crown moments are when your heart and your crown aligns. And then from there, I feel like it's just a moment for me to, as an introvert, for me to like speak on a platform and create a platform that I feel safe in, and also where my guests feel safe in. And now it's evolved, excuse me, to having just conversations that focus on, mental health, self-awareness, and also, of course, Black joy. So yeah, that's how it was created. It was me just trying to find my voice.
Right. And so in the midst of that, were you still working with I forgot, is it the
The A meeting?
AA meeting? Was that still going on, or like how was that?
Yeah. So the
Okay.
A meeting was where it originally started from. I would have the A meeting, but then I just have like a little segment here and there, recognizing crowns like celebrities. And then from there, I was like, I know like local people who need to have like their crown recognized. And so from there, that's where it got started. I created its own platform.
Gotcha. Oh,
Hmm.
taking my little sip of water.
No problem.
Cool. Well, and I know when I was introduced to Crown Talk,
Hmm.
I would say um, just the small conversation that we were having, and then just I I remember hearing the passion in your voice. It was just kind of like you was kind of letting me know what was going on and how this was. I mean, and and forgive me if I'm wrong, but I want to say that I was on it, right? Like, or
You have been a guest a couple of times. Yes.
yeah. Well, the couple of times is more so like within the past 2 years.
Yeah.
But
Even
I want
before.
to say I was on it initially because I remember we took that picture and it's weird. I remember the shorts I had on. I was like, I would never wear those shorts ever again. So,
Oh no, I'm sorry. I have to find it and post it.
but uh, but
The do's
nevertheless,
and don'ts.
I caught the passion of it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't take me long to realize like this was something that was needed. Um, it definitely felt like a blanket, like a blanket. It felt like a warm blanket over. Like it was like this
Oh,
comforting type of feel that I was like, yo, this needs to be out a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So,
mm-hmm.
um, with the self-awareness actions, I mean, will we include conversation Sundays in that? Will we
Yeah.
include the book readings and all that stuff. We would include all that into like the encompass. Well, we would encompass that into Crown Talk, correct?
For sure. From Crown Talk, we have the crownones.com website where I do my book, my book in bloom. Reading to me allows self-awareness, so I definitely want to share that with readers and people who think about reading, but it's like I don't have time for it. I always have time for like a moment to yourself. And then Conversation to Sunday, where I was interviewing authors and speaking on they're speaking on my platform, but that I learned that like authors don't really be like social like that sometimes because they're into like writing. So that allow them to express themselves there. So yeah, Crown Talk has really have many jewels within this crown.
Okay, so with that being said, in the midst of all that, did you realize that that was the case? Did you feel like was this a thing where these things kind of bubbled on itself, or was that intentional? Where you was like, well, I felt what I feel like the book in blooms was.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was a little more intentional. But let me know, was that it? Was that all of these things that we talk about? Conversation Sunday, book and bloom,
Mm-hmm.
self awareness of it. Was these intentional, or was it something that you woke up one day and just got inspired and say, well, I'm going to share with people about my books or the
For
books I'm
sure.
reading, et cetera, et
So
cetera.
So my favorite author is Toni Morrison, and I read The Bluest Eyes. And from there, that book really gave me a self-awareness of who I am as a person and how I'm supposed to be aware of myself and loving myself. And from there, I wanted to spread that word out. But then as the more as I kept reading, Book and Bloom bloomed on its own. As far as like all my book reviews go, Conversation Sunday with the authors, that was presented to me, and I wanted to just create a space separate from the Crown Talk podcast, but still underneath like the same umbrella. So I was able to welcome authors in to speak about their writings and be inspired from that. So I would say it wasn't planned per se, but I believe that when the seeds were like planted, it just kind of bloomed on its own. No pun intended. Mixtape is coming out.
Oh, hold on.
It's on its way. I promise. But yeah, I sometimes I do have visions and I try to get as close to the vision as I can. I know as content creators, once you see something and try to get it exactly how you're trying to get it, you're not always going to see it how the vision is. But I believe that what I'm doing is getting close to it.
For sure. And I think all these the conversation Sundays, the book and blooms, I think all of those it just encompasses that. I
Mhm.
remember it's like sporadically where you would just kind of throw out a quote, you know
Mhm.
what I'm saying, to like kind of warm people up to be like, hey, keep going, keep
Oh
moving.
yeah.
Like the whole crown thing. Like, talk to me about that because specifically, I remember we've had plenty of conversations about these quotes, but
Mhm.
a lot of these quotes touched me because you were really talking to like males, like
Oh
to
yeah.
males. Like it was, I mean, overall,
Mhm.
you were speaking to everybody, but it was specific ones where you were like talking directly to like us black men, and I think that was great. So, can you talk about that encouragement and
Yeah,
where that came from?
for sure. So I believe that we're all crowned, especially us Black folks. I know through history it doesn't seem like it, but I really believe that we are. James Baldwin, my favorite author, said that we are crowned. We just have to put our crowns on. It's already there. So I did start Dear Kings, where I was like writing quotes to
Dear
Black
King,
men.
Dear Kings, yeah,
I
yeah,
actually found one of them the other day. Can I read it to you? Is that okay? Okay.
yeah.
It says, Dear Kings, keep going, keep growing. Even during a drought, you can still grow. There's always water at your roots. So that was on August the 10th, 2020. So yeah, but that was my thing. I was looking on social media and I know that like black men get like a lot of flack for things. And I just wanted to just do the opposite and just uplift black men. Not only because black men, but because I have a dad, I have a nephew, and I feel like if we're tearing down one man, then we're tearing down all men. And I want to just uplift men on the opposite side. So yeah, that was my motivation for that. Which I need to bring that back. It sounds like so for sure.
right, there we go. That shit just disappeared on me. There we go.
Thank you.
Stadium music, stadium music, stadium music. Y'all already know what time it is. Real quick to reset the room, we are with Crowned ReRe. We are talking about, well, we are celebrating her 5th year anniversary of CrownTalk podcast. We're here to just have a conversation with her. And it's Thankful Thursday, so I'm sending a major
Aw,
Thankful Thursday to you, friend, because
thank you, friend.
a lot of the work, a lot of work that she's done, definitely been a good. It's been good energy for myself.
Mm,
It's kept me going from time to time, so
mm,
it felt good too, especially the Dear Kings situation.
mhm,
Just
mm.
feeling seen and feeling like people want you know we're thought about in that regard.
Yeah,
So I appreciate you that.
for
All
sure.
right,
My
so
whole agenda is to unify us, not tear us apart. So that's always that is my intention. Anytime I put the microphone together with the Crown Talk podcast, Fire for the Culture, it's always to unite us, not divide us. So.
for sure, indeed, I love it. I love it. So, you have this way of doing these dedications.
Mm-hmm.
So, I remember when we did our Bear White one. I will reference people to go back to
Oh man.
how like we did flowers for the culture, the
Mm-hmm.
podcast, and we was talking heavily about Bear White, and then
Yes,
at the end of the show, we kept the audio going, and we just went through like a bunch of Bear White songs.
we did.
Uh, and then I turned that part into a Clear Visions podcast, and I made 2 beats, production beats from Bear White songs, and then you came behind it and did like a dedication on your blog or on the Crown ones,
Yeah.
and you did like a dedication to that. So that was a special. That part is like one of my favorite moments with us, like when
Yes,
we just being fucking nerds. We were so like nerds, like we were
we
so
were.
nerded out. Like it was a super nerd action. So that part, you did one on Tina Turner. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I can't think of one off. I mean, no, we did one for Betty White.
Yes, we did one for Betty White.
Then we
Angela
do the
Lansbury.
when we do one for the lady from was it Murder She Wrote?
Yes, Angela Lansbury. Yes.
Yeah. So, um, talk about that. Like, I think that's a significant aspect in, um, Black Joy, which I
Yeah.
want to talk about the Black Joy part as well, because that's your doing and you're saying the Black Joy action.
Thank you.
Um, so talk about that. Those like dedications that that you did or whatever, because you inspired me. Because I remember I did one on Under 3000.
Yeah,
Yeah, that type of thing. So talk about that aspect of the dedications to the people.
for sure. And I also want to mention what we did for LeBron because that was a good one.
Yeah, that's when he got. That's when he got the 30 or the 40,000 or something like that.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So I believe in we have the Foster Culture podcast. I believe in like giving flowers, but even when the opportunity is like the person has passed, or we just need a moment to just give them their flowers. I believe in doing that, and in that moment that I am doing a dedication, it brings me joy to do it because I know like I am the one small voice, but I'm making like a difference to me to make sure that I'm giving flowers or recognizing someone's crown. Tina Turner is one of my favorite ones, outside of Barry White, of course. But yeah, Tina Turner was because, you know, growing up, I wasn't a big fan of what Love Got to Do with It because of the situation. But then after I watched her documentary, it was like people just kept asking her like the same questions. And so I wanted to give her a dedication where it wasn't about her past, but about what happened with her going forward. So to me, I feel like when it speaks to me to give a dedication to someone, like my platform isn't big, it brings me joy to do it, for sure. So yeah, I believe like if you have that urge to just, write on someone or at someone, just, recognizing them, then it should definitely be done.
Indeed. All right, so we're gonna have more of those come, right? Like,
For sure. I think we should like I don't know like at Questlove and show him like our Barry White one. Since he's doing like documentaries out here. Just saying. Um,
actually, can and I know this is kind of talking outside of Flowers for the Culture, but I would love to do Flowers for the Culture, Questlove. I would love to do one on Questlove.
oh, for
I am
sure.
very inspired by Questlove. I read something about I read something saying that he was doing all this other stuff, and I was just like, yeah, this shit's gonna be crazy. So I would love to give flowers to Questlove, but we can
Yeah,
do the Barry White Questlove introduction for sure.
for sure. And I believe like if you don't do like what's in your heart to do, it's gonna like nag you until like you do it. So it's like why not just do it?
Right, right. Um, I'll ask the book and bloom question later, but
Okay.
what where does all this energy come from? Where does this I don't want to say happy. It's more joyous.
Mm-hmm.
It's more inspirational. Um, you definitely have this way of looking at the glass full, not even half full. Like you have this spirit. Like, all right, well, and it's like even when you deal, I mean, I've seen
Mm-hmm.
you deal with, some form of disappointment or like shortcomings or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, oh man, like all right, and then I'm gonna keep it moving with it. But where does that energy come from? Like, where does this crown action come from? Does it come from you
Mm-hmm.
growing up? Does it come from a specific experience that if you feel like you want to share, you can or not? But where does that energy come from?
So I have been to therapy because that's what I needed to get there.
Yeah.
And it's always the thought of like, what can I control? And if it's something that I can't control, then I can't stress over it because it's out of my control. I do allow myself to feel feels. We've been 10 days in America and I've definitely been feeling my feels. Um, but I try to like focus on something that makes me happy or like I said have that moment where I'm saying okay I can control this part but I know I can't control the outcome. I can't stress the outcome. I can only do what I can do. That's the one thing, and realizing that a lot of things that happen to me is a reflection of how the other person feels about themselves. So on that I just take a moment, make sure it's not me, but know for sure that if it's not me, like something I can change about myself that I will feel happy with in the long run, then I don't stress about it. So yeah, those are my two crown moments that I use every day probably. Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
That's that.
Because
That's
I am human. I have my days where I'm like, I need to play Rick Ross and
what is it? What's my song? Was it Santonia Greece?
yes. I'm trying to
That's the song I go to. I'd be like, man, I want to fuck. I don't give a fuck. Yeah,
yeah,
that's my
yeah,
song.
for sure. Sometimes it's Devil's a Lie with Jay-Z, so
For real.
for
That one too. That one too. All
yeah.
right. Two more questions, and then we're gonna kind of just kind of wrap things up. But again, do a reset for my folks. We are here to celebrate Crowned ReRe's 5th anniversary of CrownTalk podcast.
Yay.
And it's crazy because we've been talking about everything around the podcast versus the podcast. But I feel like everything that you're doing around it
Mm-hmm.
is like when you had that moment to sit down and talk about those things, it's definitely relevant and it's just as inspiring. So,
Thank you.
yeah, so I appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thank
Book
you
in
guys.
Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
Book in Bloom. Do you have a favorite book in Bloom? Do you have a favorite book that you
Oh my God.
that you spoke on?
Oh my goodness. I love reading. It really makes it's like my great escape. Um, so of course Toni Morrison is like my favorite author. Oh my goodness. I don't think I have a favorite I could think of off the top of my head, friend, because I've done a lot. Um, so there's this book called The Street, which I enjoyed doing that book in Bloom because I wasn't trying to like give like all the the whole situation away. Um, but it's a really good book. There's another book where I asked the author and she added me back, but I cannot think of it at this moment. But yeah, I enjoyed all my book and blooms. To me, because I'm not like in a book club, but I like just sharing, you know, what I'm reading and the growth from it and just taking everything in. So I'm sorry, I don't have a favorite.
No, it's fine. Hell, all of them could be your favorite. I mean, if you want to,
They
you know,
are.
consider,
Yeah.
consider such. Yeah. So, all right. So, I want to say the one that I enjoy reading the blog, Bell Hooks. When you
Yeah. Oh
that
my
book,
gosh, yes.
you were. I mean, out of all the ones that we've talked about, I remember vividly like how excited you was to talk about that book and your
Yes.
how it related to you and how you took it in. Like it was just like this moment. And you mentioned it a couple times during the podcast as
I
well. Like
did.
you referenced that very heavily within the next I don't remember the episodes, but it was like the two episodes after that. You were
Mm-hmm.
definitely like referencing Bell Hooks in that book. What is it, All About Love or something like that?
Yes. So that was one of my favorite book and thank you, friend. One of my favorite book and balloons. I'm actually reading her other book called Black Love, Love Within the Family. But yes, that book changed my whole perspective on love. And I always tell people that it's not a self-help book about love. It's not telling you how to be in a relationship. It's literally just telling you about love and how people just view it differently. So yeah, that actually encouraged me to build my relationships better with my sister, my nephew, my dad. Like there's different ways to apply love. It doesn't always have to be like with a stranger. It could be with family and friends. So yeah, that's one of my thank you, friend. One of my favorite book and blooms.
Nah, no problem, man. I just remember the reference, man. I mean,
I
we're
know.
friends, so I'm sure you could pick out a couple times where you was like, yeah, you was inspired by this one, Pete. Like when you talked about this, you were doing this, blah 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 blah. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
so all right, podcast action, and then we'll kind of just finalize it up. Podcast and action.
Mhm.
I was brought on. The facilitator. I don't even know if it was a facilitator type of action, but
Yes.
I just remember being brought on, man, and those conversations that we were having were cool.
Mm-hmm.
What was there a particular reason as to why I was brought
Mm-hmm.
into this? Because to explain to my people, I was I first became the engineer producer of the show, doing
Thank
all the
you.
tech work or whatnot, just making it sound good and all that. But then I remember you asking me to be, the accountability partner,
Mm-hmm.
which I think I've been doing pretty good on. I mean,
Yes, you have.
yeah. I mean, but the thing is, I don't be bugging people like that. I just be like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
what we got going on? Like, I'm not the one to be like, man, why you ain't doing this? Stop doing that, or you need to be doing this. Da da da. I just kind of,
Yeah, you're the coach.
right. Like, I just come in with this like, hey, what's your thoughts on this
Yeah.
cool idea? Blase, blase, blase. So, what was the reason for actually bringing me to the table so we can have I can join the conversations with you?
For sure. So me and Mr. RP has been friends, I don't know, like 5, 6 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
A long time. I mean,
a
I get
long
to
time.
a long time. And we have conversations, but I feel like sometimes like the perspective on mental health or self-awareness, it always is like a one-way street. And so I wanted you on the show to have like your thoughts on things or like your mindset on things. Again, I think it's awesome and wonderful that me and you can have a conversation and it's actually a conversation. It's not like a combative thing where like I'm trying to get my point across, you're trying to get your point across. And that's where the CrownTalk podcast and Flowers for the Culture, I feel like we conversate, we have conversations and we have those moments where it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Like I get your point of view, you get my point of view. Or if you don't, like you ask me a question like, what do you mean? Like explain that more. And I appreciate that because that challenged me to be more detailed and specific about like what I'm saying. So yeah, that's the reason why. I just wanted my friend there, and sometimes I get stuck in my head when I'm trying to do like the podcast, as you know. Um, and sometimes you asking those questions that helps me to make sure that I'm being clear on what I'm saying and that the intentions is there, that, you know, I'm giving this advice or I'm telling this fact about myself, and that is being heard with understanding.
Gotcha. Well,
So, yeah.
listen, I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, that's partially the energy that I was thinking it was. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But you know, I know for me and my experiences, and when I say the experiences, those experiences are getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Mhm.
Because I want to shout out a lot of people that I can tell value my opinion or take me into consideration.
Yeah.
And I was in a world where I felt like I wasn't, you know, I ain't really had nobody to talk to and stuff like that. So it was cool to kind of be brought into that situation, into your situation, and really just have
Yeah.
like these little life conversations and those like not even life conversations. Well, it's life conversations, but like just perspective, like
Mhm.
just having like those perspective conversations, and it's cool to just have that with, you know, having that person or whatnot. So I appreciate you, friend, for letting me be that person outside of me being just the engineer. And
Of course.
even with me uh giving an idea, giving ideas about the podcast,
Mhm.
like what could we do here, this and the third. I remember my last meeting that we had, and we was talking about like the outline of it,
Yeah.
and just let me be able to pour into something that's so regal, no pun intended, but like, you know, just seeing this and being like, damn, man, people need to have this in their life. Like,
Right.
somebody could listen to these conversations that you're having. Somebody could look at your, when you wrote your blog about self-cation, like that, you know, that
Yeah.
might give people more of an, emphasis to be like, man, let me just do a self-vacation and how that liberation is. I remember the blog about the sunscreen, you know what I'm saying, and just the
Yeah.
dedication, like all that stuff, like matters, and it's all in this bubble, and it's good to have, and I'm glad that I'm doing the engineering part, but it was just
Mhm.
better. It felt great just to be like, all right, I'm involved in the actual curating of the bloom
For sure.
or the crown or whatever, and so, you know, as much as I can, man, I want to be able to continue with that
Oh,
with
thank you, friend.
that. Yeah, because you got some good shit going, man. This crown talk is so like, I don't really have to. I don't have the word for it right now, but I feel like if people could just go across your website, thecrowns.com, they
Mhm.
could pick something up that will liberate them, like just
I agree.
something, yeah, like that type of thing. Like, but they might see a book that they might need to read and be like, you know what, let me read this book, and then that book liberates them. Um,
Mhm.
if they listen to a episode of the podcast, um, they'd be like, you know, it's cool to hear, you know, somebody's perspective on things, you know, and
Yeah.
all of that. So,
Oh,
yeah.
thank you, friend, and thank you for saying yes. I mean, you can ask somebody, you know, do you mind, and they could be like, I don't want to do it. So thank you so much. You could definitely be like, I got too much on my plate. No, thank you. So thank you so much for joining in and being a part of it. Like I said, sometimes you know, as you're talking, I'm like, oh wow, I did this, I did that. Sometimes we don't really like sit down and think like how many things that we're doing creatively, we're just creating. So definitely it's like, thank you for, you know, making sure and holding me accountable, because you already know like this is one of my passions of doing it. And making sure that sometimes I don't get burnt out from doing it. So yeah, so thank you.
Gotcha. Dope stuff. All right, real quick, to reset the room again, this is Mr. LP, the MPN Network. We are here with Crowned ReRe. We are celebrating 5 years
Yay.
of Crown Talk podcast. Oh man, it's such a beautiful thing. She has all these elements surrounding it as well. So I mean, you have the book and blooms, you have just the blog posts, the tributes and dedications.
Yeah,
There's a lot of content on there that is liberating for anybody to check out. So
for
thank
sure.
y'all for checking this out. Please make sure you go to crownones.com. bookmark that thing, check it out. Please make sure you subscribe to the Crown Talk podcast.
Yes.
On all the socials. Well, not the socials, but like all the streaming spots. If you want to go to mpn-llc.com and go to the Neighborhood Podcast Network, you can click on her page, Crown Talk, and it takes you directly to it. So,
yeah.
Indeed. All right. So, fun stuff. Of course, we about the Black Joy. This I pulled 3 cards from the interview deck for Pod Deck. So, yeah, so we do not know what she does not know what questions she's going to get, but
I'm going to be on the Breakfast Club. Oh no.
All right. Three things, and you know, it could be an in and out type of question, in and type of answer, whatnot. So, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Question number 1: What does your typical Friday night look like?
I'm home.
Soft winter.
Yes, I'm home. I'm turning into a gamer, so I'm either playing Tetris, which is kicking my ass right now.
Is it on like what, Nintendo Switch or something?
Yes, it's on Nintendo Switch. Oh, the other day I got to level 10. I was like, okay, but of course you can't do it twice, so
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm normally home on a Friday night, watching movies or binge watching something. I'll be 40 this year. My bedtime is about 9ish. So yeah, I'm home.
Shout out to the 40. Shout out to the 40.
Yeah.
All right. Question 2. If you could try out a job for a day just to see if you like it, which job would you choose?
Oh, Beyonce's assistant.
Beyonce's assistant?
Yeah.
Friend, why? Just because she's Beyonce?
And I have my Renaissance shirt on right now. I'm only here for the day, so like whatever you need me to do.
Fair enough.
We got about 8 hours.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you think? Well, I'm trying to think of what Beyonce assistant would do. Like, would you be okay just going to get fruit for her and shit? Like,
yeah. I mean, she's hungry.
Okay. I follow.
Would you not want to be Jay-Z's assistant?
You said what now?
Would you not want to be like Jay-Z's assistant?
Who? Me?
Yes. Wait, I'm sorry.
I would probably be like, I would do some communication shit. I wouldn't be no assistant. Like, I ain't going to get. I mean, maybe my pride's too high, but I ain't.
Excuse me.
Just give me your communication stuff, and I'll make sure I have that organized. Like,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I would do that.
Okay.
All right. You know what? Let me take that back. I would probably be Big Boy's assistant for sure, just to see how that. I would do that because I feel like being an assistant for Big Boy would be fun.
I can see that.
Yeah, Jay-Z, I'm like, give me a job. Give me a job at fucking Rock Nation or whatever. And,
you don't want to give him like, well, I don't know what Jay-Z would need, like a sticky note or something. I don't know.
You probably be. We probably will be surprised at the stuff that these people be. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what was up with that.
I don't know.
That was weird.
Instagram was like,
It was like frozen, but whatever. But we are back. We're bike for Duval County, back for the world. So
yeah.
So I'm gonna replace all. Well, I'm gonna get the video and tap it together and then upload it again. But yeah,
of course, you're my friend.
You know I don't play by this shit. I'm sitting here kind of quiet. IG. Well, and real quick, let me make this plug real quick. We working on this Discord page, man. So download Discord so we can be over there doing the stuff and doing the thing. Shouts out to Craig Digger, man. We gonna be doing a little bit more troubleshooting, man, so we can get some DJ mixes going on and just community over there. We don't have to be messing with this IG stuff. Anyway. All right, last question, friend, and then
Okay.
we will be done. What specific work or art do you admire the most?
Oh my goodness. Ugh, Fred.
You got you got a lot of black art in that kingdom over there where you at.
I I do. But music is art, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I admire music. I'm currently stuck in like the 1970s, 1980s vibe, and I am stuck.
Yeah.
But it's such a I don't know, like inspiring, admiring. I don't know. Yeah. So music is one of my favorite arts that I admire. I think that's why I do like dedications as well as my way to contribute to music outside of me doing my mixtape. Uh, um, so yeah, I would have to say definitely for sure music. Of course, my music choices are always on 10. So yeah.
Listen, Riri got that funk now.
Yeah.
Listen, I know a lot of. I am proud to say, out of a lot of my, and within my community, there are a lot of people that have some great taste,
Hmm.
and Riri has like a very exquisite taste of music. And every time she shares it, and I'm around, and I'm like, yeah, let me download this shit real quick and put this shit on. Yeah, so
Thank you, Fred.
I appreciate your contribution to music. We need more uh, tastemakers out there for sure.
Thank you. So yeah, that's the answer to your question.
Indeed, indeed. Well, thank you for playing the question game. That wasn't too hard, was it?
It wasn't.
We got to talk about this Beyonce assistant. I mean, I guess I can level with you because I would be Big Boy's assistant. So,
And I would add Kendrick Lamar to that because we don't know what he would ask for.
hey, that's my.
Hey, we'll just be in the studio on the couch like,
Right. Hey now, see now. Hey now, see now. Yeah, that
Yeah.
type of shit. So. Good Dylan. Well, listen, we honor you, friend. We
Oh,
appreciate you, friend.
thank you.
Happy fifth anniversary of the Crown Talk. I mean, just to be on the sort of trying to get another episode out,
Yeah, yes.
But I understand where you at now. Listen, to my people that don't know, both of us for like the past 2 years have been in school.
For
So
sure.
we have been in school. So listen, we take all grace and mercy or whatever. Like I'm out of it, but Riri is in it.
Yay.
She's at the end of the tunnel. So we want to make sure that she's straight. So you know, creativity comes when it comes.
Yeah.
We want to allow the creativity to come. So, but it's there. So until then, y'all can go back and listen to all the podcast episodes, and we'll reference it all in the chats, et cetera. So, but
Yeah.
we
I will
definitely
say that if you go back and listen, one of my favorite episodes, which my mom was like really proud of, is the drop off when I talk about my being the abandonment issues that I used to have, or overcoming.
yeah
So I would say definitely check that out. And like my friend was saying, I am a full-time worker, full-time student. And the CrownTalk podcast came to me like in a crown moment. And so when I do my episodes, I always try to make sure I have that crown moment before I hit record. So I'm working on just getting back being inspired. As content creators, we do have a drought. Um, and so I'm just allowing that. And this, thank you, friends, for doing this. It's helping me just to recollect everything and go from there for sure.
indeed, indeed. Well, we will be knocking these shows out. So, yeah. I mean, shit. We start Flowers for the Culture next week. So,
We do?
yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's on the schedule. I mean, but
Yes.
it'll come back when they come back. But yeah, man. But we appreciate you. To my people that's watching this, please make sure you go to crownwins.com. That's where you can listen to the podcast, as well as check out the book and blooms, check out the dedications, the conversation Sundays, the Dear Kings, like all of the things. So please
Mhm.
make sure you go there and check that stuff out. Some great stuff, great stuff, great stuff. And let the people know where they can find you at, friend.
So yes, you can find me on Crownlands _CLM on Instagram or crown_Re_Becca on Instagram, crownones.com, the Crown Talk podcast, which episodes are coming, but please check out the crownones.com. You will find something there that you will enjoy, whether it's the book and balloon, like my friend said, every episode of the Crown Talk podcast, Conversation Sundays, and be on the lookout for the Dear Kings is coming back per my friend's request and me being motivated to do it. I think it's like a good time to do it right about now.
For sure.
For sure. So yeah, that's where you can find me. And also can find me on Flowers for the Culture podcast with my good friend Mr. LP.
Over here rocking, you know what I'm saying? We be minding our business, spread this black joy.
Yes.
Spread all the black joy that people need in the world.
Yeah. Oh my Lord, we need it.
Yeah, we definitely do. We'll be talking about a lot of that shit on the podcast, so definitely.
Hey, before we go, I just want to say that I am just now turning into the Family Guy, and I'm finding like a lot of black joy in that show.
Family Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love that show, man. I mean, of course, there's so many out there that you can't catch up on, but
yeah,
oh man,
I think I'm in the current seasons.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It's funny as hell too, man. It's funny as all outdoors.
It really is. And between me like doing the schoolwork and watching the news, like that has been like my balance right now is like watching like episodes of the Family Guy. So I just want to put it out there. Find your balance because I know there's like a lot going on. A lot going on.
Listen, I was telling everybody, well, not telling everybody. I tell people from time to time, but like I just got the the Soup's Kitchen. I just talked to him an hour ago, and we was talking about. I was telling him like people need a place to go to find that community. So whatever your balance is, your community need to be, please find it because these times are crazy. It's like day 11, day 12 of this shit, and it ain't gonna do nothing but get worse and worse. Well, hopefully we wanted to get better, but in the meantime. If you need to cut on that damn Family Guy, cut it on. If you need to cut on Crate Digger when he doing his mixes, cut it on. If you want to cut on Flowers for the Culture, cut it on. CrownTalk podcast would definitely have you back in your spirits, like it's yourself. So please tap into that.
Yes, and I also want to say it's okay to just like question everything that's going on. Like again, like my friend said, just finding that balance and just being aware. Like I need a moment.
Yeah. That's wise words for me too.
We're human. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we are done with this. Again, we want to thank Crowned ReRe for taking the time to do the interview. And like I said, go to crownones.com. Please listen to the podcast stuff. Be on the lookout for more things for MPN. We gotta be kicking back up, y'all. We're slowly coming back out of the break. We had a break around like Thanksgiving to kind of get the holidays going, and I had to get my transition action going.
My friend was getting his master's. What?
I know, man. I am a master degree holder now. So
yay!
Talk to me like I have some sense. I'm just playing.
Nice.
So yeah, we was getting our lives together, but this month has been the longest 6 months ever. So, but we gearing back up to give you the dope stuff. We got MPN Radio, a lot of stuff from there. Shouts out to Bowtie Genius, Christina Curates, Crate Digger for holding it down on the music tip. Good Bar, Soup's Kitchen, all of them. But then we had a podcast as well. We got Black FLA coming back. We got Flowers for Coach coming back. I just dropped my episode of Clear Visions today. Soul Curators is coming back within 2 weeks, and there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we got the Uma Creative Group. They got stuff going on. So shouts out to Drippin' the Black, Black is America. We got Ty with his stuff. It's just a lot of stuff going on. So please make sure that you are tapped in because we are bringing the funk for 2025. So.
And I just want to say thank you again for allowing me to be on this platform, and thank you for just motivating me to celebrate myself. Again, this is something new for me. I'm a person that opens up a fortune cookie, read it, and go to bed. So I do nothing with it. So again, thank you. And thank you for always keeping me like within the neighborhood. I definitely appreciate that as
Oh yeah,
well, friend. Thank
yeah.
you.
You are definitely a major neighbor in the neighborhood. That's a
Yeah.
fact right there. So, and the people support you too, man. My people on the other side, they definitely support you, and
Oh, thank
you know,
guys.
yeah. So it's dope. So. All right, y'all. Well, y'all be good. Have a great one. We will see y'all on next go round. I'm not sure who is the next person I'm gonna interview, but just be on the lookout for it. To keep following us, y'all.
For sure. And can I do my closing?
Yes, ma'am. You sure can.
This is Crowned ReRe. Don't forget you are crowned, and don't forget you're crowned. And find Black joy. Find it, hold it, embrace it. Yeah.
Indeed, I love it. Love it. All right, y'all. Be good.